Shlomo from Tur Lebanon, Shlomo from Mount Lebanon. If you know Syriac, you can talk to Lebanon because Lebanon speaks Syriac. Lebanon is Lebanon, the white mountain, or Lebanon, the incense mountain. Let us travel together from one mountain to the other, from one valley to the next, from village to village, and listen to their names. The first group is for village names in Beit, or B, also meaning Beit. Beit, or B, is a place or a village in Syriac, like Bet Mere is the place of the lords. Beit Shbeb is the village of the neighbors. Beit Kiko, village of the cookies. Beit Rumin, as well as Pterom, village of hills or the elevated place. Brumana, Rumono being the god of storm and thunder, and is symbolized by a pomegranate. Bikfaya, Kifa, is the stone. Kifaya would be being from stone. Behsas, Behsos, region of shingle. Kirke, if it is Kirke, then it's a scroll, archive, a library. But if it's Karke, then it's a castle. Tedin is a place of judgment. And to differentiate the second Tedin village, because there are two of them, it was called Tedin Lish, meaning the fruit that comes after its season. Psheneta from Shento, place of sleepiness. Ptura from Beit Turo, the mountain village. Pturatij from Tur Togo, the mountain crown village or village crowning the mountain. Bzumar, place of psalms. Esha, Beit Kur Kashe, the place of severe cold. Bidnael might be Beit Daniel, the village of Daniel. Psherri, village of the beginning. Shari, to begin. Now, the village names starting with Kfar, and Kfar means exactly village. So Kfar Matta stands for the village of Matthew. Kfar Shima, the Shimo being the suffering or injured person. Kifraya, Kfar is the village, Kifroyo is the villager, just like Be Kfaya and Be Kifaya. Kifraya, Kfar is the village, Kifroyo is the villager, just like Be Kifa and Be Kfaya. Beka Kafra, from Beka Kafra, the village of the plain or plateau. Kfar Baal, Baal is a divinity or maybe simply the husband. Kfar Milke, the village of the kings. Kfar Nun, the village of the fish. Kfar Hai, the village of life. Kfar Zaina, Zaino is the weapon. Kfar Dabash, Dipsho is honey in Syriac. Now the group starting with the word Ain, meaning source or spring. So Ain Baal is the source of Baal. Ain Dara is a place of combat and fighting. Ain Jar, from Ain Gero. Gero is an arrow, meaning actually the place of fast waters. Ain Kafra is the spring village. Ain Kene is the spring nest. And Ain Har is the laurel tree spring. Another group now in Tur. Tur Lebanon, as we said earlier, Mont Blanc in French, the white mountain, or maybe the incense mountain. Tura means simply the mountain, and Ain Tura, the source of the mountain, and Ain Turin, the source of the many mountains. Turza, from Tur Arza, is the cedars mountain, and Hai Tura, the mountain of life. Now villages names in Mar, like Mar Mema, Mar Musa or Mar Mushe, Mart Shmune and Mart Ta'la, Mar Butros or Petros, and so many other names in Mar. Now, various names not belonging to any of these groups, and we start with Af'a, from the verb afek, to exit. This is where water exits the mountain. From the same verb afek, we have the village of Maifu, from Mai, afek, meaning the water exit. Faraya, fire is the fruit, and firoye means fruity, just like Kfar, the village, and Kefraya, the villager. Felura, from the verb plag or flag, to cut, to separate a region, a land. Merab, from marbo, meaning the west. Arz is arzo, the cedar. Adisha means the saint. Bayet, from ebioto, the water tanks or reservoirs. Shhim, from shahem, blacken. Ferzol, meaning steel, iron. Freidis, from pardaiso, meaning paradise. And Neya, from Nonoyo, meaning cloudy. Now a quick observation concerning the Gomal. This letter does not exist in the Arabic alphabet. So how to write the names of Lebanese villages in Arabic when you have a Gomal? There's no grammatical rule to determine the equivalent of the Syriac Gomal. We notice that sometimes it is replaced by an Arabic J and other times by a Ghain without any logical reason or explanation. For example, Ga'oto becomes Zaita with a J. Ga'oto means the scream from the belly. Gunye becomes Junye, also with a J. And Gunye is the angle, the bay. But if we look at Guma, it becomes Guma. Guma means the beans. And once again, Gosta becomes Gosta. Gosta from Gauso, the shelter, or Augusto, the Emperor Augustus. So we got two examples where the Gomal is transcribed into a J, and two other examples where it is transcribed into a Ghain with no clear explanation. Let us now move to a group of village names in Kifa, meaning the stone. Deir Kifa is the stone temple or stone convent. Ras Kifa is the summit of the stone, as it is shown very obviously in this photograph. And our last group of village names, starting with Karn or Arn, like Urnael, the horn or summit of El, the Canaan god. Urnit Hamra, the hill of wine. Urnit Sode, Sode Damshiho, the martyrs' summit, the martyrs of Christ. But because it was transcribed in Arabic, a language that does not have vowels like the O and A, the name became Kornet Sauda, the black summit, which is very uncomprehensive because this peak is white all year long. Learn Syriac to write your country's name, to be able to speak to Lebanon and to understand it when it speaks back to you. Learn Syriac if you dream of having a conversation with the beautiful mountain and its historical villages. Shlomo from Tur Lebanon. Shlomo from Mount Lebanon.